What's good, everybody? What's going on? Welcome. We're gonna get started here in just a second. Let me shoot this out. Let's see. We're getting it out to everybody. Getting it out to everybody. Cool. Getting it out to everybody. Man, I hope everybody's doing good today. What's good, man? What's good? Man, all is well, brother. All is well. I got no complaints. How's your day been? That's what's up, man. Appreciate the heart, me. Appreciate it. I'm just waiting for some more folks to roll in. Man, last night was last night. Boy, yeah. Yeah, bruh. So it's so intense, man. But I think everybody got some clarity on things last night, man. I think the whole conversation probably put some stuff in perspective for people. You know, shoot, man. I had to sit here and think about some things. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. We'll let some more folks roll through right quick. Yeah, man. I got a little. Just got a little scotch tonight, man. You know. Yeah, man. Man, people be having like weird comments. How can I escape the realization? What? Man, I don't even know where these people come from. It's weird. Weird, bro. Weird. Yeah, man. Oh, let me send this out to my other partner. Oh yeah, yeah. That McAllen, man. That's yeah. Think I got my other one. I'm on a. I got a McAllen 12 right here, but I got when people come on, I might pull out a 25 or the 18. You know what I'm saying? Sip. I'm very sparingly gonna share that one. Yeah, man. But I got a whole bar, so y'all already know. So I got some stuff over there. Might as well. Trying to tell you. Maria, what's good, love? How are you tonight? How are you? Yeah, man. Had a long day. Man, sometimes you just want to wind down, man. I'm telling you. She said, well, what's the well, Maria? Oh yeah, that McAllen, that's special occasions, man. Like, nah, I'm glad. I'm glad you're doing well, Maria. Man, let me see. Where am I? I'm gonna show you the one I got, man. I ain't even opened it up yet. I got. Man, I got this. This is one of my other ones, man. I got that McAllen 15. Yeah, this one here. Yeah, yeah. You don't open that, man. Single malt, real smooth, man. Real smooth. So, but man, so I do a little tequila as well, man. I don't know if you had that 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 yeah, birthday shot, exactly. Man, I have that Kevin Hart tequila. Boy, that Kevin Hart in the black bottle, it's gonna hit you for about it's gonna hit you over 100. Um, but it's dope, man. It's it's so good. That black one, that Coromir, what however you say it. Yeah, it's good. Carry Free, what's good? What's good? Yo, Carry Free was dropping some stuff last night too, man. Man, I'm glad to see everybody, man. It's Thursday, man. It's or as I call it, Friday Eve. It's Friday Eve, y'all. Grab y'all something to sip on, man. We're gonna get started here in just a second. Y'all know how it runs. How's everybody's day? How's everybody else's day? Carefree, how was your day? Make sure you guys are coming in and sharing, liking, grabbing that daily heart me at the top by my name. See, Maria says she's already done sipping. What you sipping? What you sipping on, Maria? What you sipping on today? Ah, that's right. That's right. E and J. E and J. I ain't even mad at that, man. I was supposed to go and get me some of that. But the day was, I had a long day, man. I had to do some stuff. Make sure you guys are grabbing that daily heart me at the top there, man. And liking and sharing, liking and sharing. Let me drop that in there. Just shooting this out to everybody, man. I appreciate you guys liking and sharing it out with your people. Man, we got a good little topic for tonight, man. I tell you. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one, man. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I'm obedient. You know, when God tell me to do something, I move how He tell me to move, because if I move any other kind of way, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just not. I'm just not. Oh, I'm telling you, you know. I think tonight might be some people that might not want to come on to this one because, look, ain't no judgment. My relationship with God is different from everybody's relationship, and people might not want to accept the fact of certain things, but that's my path. You know what I'm saying? And I love how this platform, we all go with, whichever way we want to go with stuff, man. I'm not pushing, God on anybody or religion. Look, but I know who's the head of my life, the center of mine. So, hey, to each his own. Yo, Big O, what's good, bro? What's good, man?
Good afternoon.
Hey, what's good, sis? What's
I,
good?
I saw y'all sipping, so I went to go get me a sip too.
Man, I'm keeping it on low key on the night, man. I'm just sipping a little bit. You know
It's
what I'm
just
saying?
rough weed, but um, I don't know what your topic is today.
Oh no! Look, I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's called push. Pushing
Okay,
your relationship. Pray until something happens.
okay, but can I get off that topic for just a brief second?
Yeah, yeah, we good. Go ahead and run with it. You know how we do in the beginning until we get enough
Okay,
people come in. Run with it. What you got?
okay. So I've been watching the viral that went with the kids and the mother and the
Yeah,
her kids. I am so disappointed.
yeah,
I mean, as a mother wise, I am so disappointed. And then the mother gets, I saw where the mother got on there on live and had her daughter to um, say that, that she apologized and this and that. But to me, the apology wasn't sincere because you kind of smirk
yeah. No, that was
at the
called. Let me get
beginning.
ahead of it and try to show that I'm trying to empathize and sympathize for my actions. That's because I mean she was the first one, so that was honestly a ploy, in my opinion. I'm not a lawyer or anything like that. In my opinion, that was her trying to get ahead of it to soften the blow that's going to happen, to soften it. So you can go back and say, hey, my daughter, she apologized, this, that, and the other. But I mean, it's a sad thing. I get, a lot of stuff that goes on. And, of course, you look at the parents. Um, However, I also say, at the end of the day, the kids have to be accountable. They're old enough to know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Sometimes some things don't always fall on the
Hmm.
parents. You know what I'm saying? Because we can raise our children however we want, but children will make their own decisions on what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a 50-50 thing. Now, if you as a parent are saying, hey, you didn't do anything wrong and you condoning it and say, oh, this is then yeah, you need to be, you need to be dealt with it accordingly. But it was a very sad thing. It was unfortunate, but the good of the unfortunate that came out of it, because God is good. Um, he came out and the city showed up for her. Some people that gave back to her, um, invited her out to Cali for Christmas, moved her out of the place she was in, put some money in her pocket, got her to get things situated to re-enroll her kids in a different school. You know what I'm saying? To put herself in a better situation. You know what I'm saying? So
But it's a known fact that kids are not how we grew up, and I don't, and that's a different era,
hey, what's
and I
going
don't
on,
expect
baby?
for them to be that,
Yeah.
mindset wise, like how when we came up, because when grandmama and auntie had company in the house and they was of adult,
Mhm. Yeah.
you exit the room immediately. You didn't stand in the company or sit in their company. And if you was eating, you either went outside and sat on that picnic bench or you went elsewhere in another room. And
Yeah.
then there was no such thing as yeah and no. It was yes ma'am and no ma'am,
Oh,
or
absolutely.
yes sir and no sir. But
Yeah.
the kids these days, they have no respect, Marlon. I mean, even for the that's why we
Yeah.
losing so much of teachers
Yeah.
today because they don't have no respect.
Man, this
And,
is so, honestly, this is the time where all we have to do, man, because some things that are not in our control, when we realize that we don't have control, all we can do is fall on our knees and pray about things. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Because we got to turn it over to God and let God do it, because whatever God's will is going to be God's will. So
exactly.
there are going to be some trials and tribulations that people are going to go through, right? And we just got to stand on that. When they say stand on business, stand on God. You know what I'm saying? God, when you standing on God's shoulders, man, look, anything's possible. You know what I'm saying? We, but also
And
here's
that's
the other part.
respect.
You know what I'm saying, fam? Is we can't get wrapped up and get
Hmm.
so wound up in what we see on social media because that's a distraction and a disruption to our lives. We can empathize with what went on, but we can't put it so much into our present that it consumes us. You know what I mean? Like our position now, us as Christians, right? What we do now is we pray. You know what I'm saying? We pray and we say, okay, all right, God, help them in that situation, and then we got to keep it moving. You know, that's all we can really do on that. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Goddaughter, what's good? What's good? No, you're good. The topic for tonight is push in your relationship. Push is a shortness for pray until something happens. This one here is, um, God reveals some things to me and say, hey, this is what I need you to use your platform for tonight. And I'm being obedient. I'm going to do what He tells me to do. Because God is the head of my life, and we're gonna have fun with it. It's not preaching. I'm not preaching. This is just me saying, understanding where God at is in a relationship, whether you're in one, trying to build one, or just got out of one. This is that topic. So, welcome in, everybody. You know, Come in, relax, chill, chop it up with your boy. This is the 100 podcast. Make sure you guys are liking and sharing. Grabbing that daily heart me up at the top by my name. Grab that daily heart me. We're gonna have a look. We're gonna have a good time. Lady E, appreciate it. What's good? What's good? What's good? Absolutely. It's about so this whole. I'm gonna give you a quick overview. Right. The overview of this episode is in relationships. There are seasons where communication breaks down. Emotions rise and solutions feel unclear. Push reminds couples to invite God in moments of uncertainty and allow patience, clarity, and faith to guide them forward. It's that reminder that God is God. You know what I'm saying? Bring God into the middle of it, because a lot of times, we enter into relationships and everything, and we don't have God in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? So we go through a certain things, and God is constantly telling you, "Hey, bring me into your relationship and allow me to be a part of it." You know what I'm saying? So that's what this episode is about. You know, and again, I always tell everyone, this is something that I was told by God to do. So if this ain't for you, I understand. But if it is, hang around. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna chop it up. Let's see what we got. I know we're waiting on a few other folks. You know what I'm saying? Let me see who's gonna come up. I don't know who's gonna come up. Lady E, what's good? What's good? Let's see. So make sure you guys are liking and sharing. Liking and sharing. Appreciate you guys. Um, I mean, definitely. You can, I mean, Maria, you can definitely, sit back and just watch. You know what I'm saying? Just listen. It's you don't necessarily have to comment or anything like that. That's not expected. You know what I'm saying? Kelly, yo, what's good? What's good? Yo, that's my peoples right there, man. I gotta call you later on and check in on you. It's been a minute. But yeah, hang in and just listen. You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes, you know, listening is sometimes what we always, we have to do sometimes, you know. Um, but I'm gonna start hitting these talking points, right? Um, yeah, definitely. Um, what does push mean? You know, like I said, push is praying until something happens. Um, push also means responding with intention instead of reacting emotionally. Because a lot of times we react to things out of emotion and we don't react in intention. Sometimes we have to um, um, take a second, to really look at what's going on and be very intentional about what we're doing and what we're saying. Because a lot of times we react out of our emotions, um, again, bringing God into it. God is going to help you understand certain things. Um, Yeah, it's like my man old said, and most people have to realize there is a difference. There is a huge difference, man. Because this is where also in the second part of that is prayer as clarity, communication, and spiritual grounding. You know, it's not saying you got to go be super Christian and super holy. It's just saying, hey, I'm just having a relationship with God. You know, I want to thank God for whatever. I want to thank God for being here. I want to go to Him when I got some things that I don't necessarily understand. You know what I'm saying? Um, and allow Him to just, go through with you. You know what I'm saying? God is good. Keita, what's good? What's good, sis? Um, but yeah, prayers are clarity and communication and spiritual grounding. Again, spiritual grounding is not saying that you're just, super religious or anything. It's just having a spirituality, having that connection with God. You know what I mean? Um, Number two, here's number two. When you're at a standstill, you got to have circular conversations. When you have circular conversations, you're trying to, again, you're gathering understanding on things, man. You know, um, a lot of times when you're at a standstill, you're emotionally overwhelmed with what's going on. You know, um, when you apply that into a relationship, when you think about being at a standstill, it's like, the man want to make his point, the woman want to make her point, and you get to you get to this standstill, and you're like, man, this is hard. This is that point where, what I'm saying, God will say, hey, bring me in here. Let me fight this battle for you. Let me help you both. You know what I'm saying? But, this is where we have to allow it to happen, if that's where you're at. Because when you're at a standstill, there's a lot of times where when you're talking to that person that you're in a relationship with, you're married or whatnot too, you're at a point where you're feeling unheard and misunderstood, right? Clarity comes when, a lot of clarity comes when you can pray with each other and God comes in and intervenes and say, hey, you know what? Let me help y'all figure this out. Let me bring in some clarity. Let me help you guys navigate through this issue that you're having. It's just, allowing it, you know? What you guys think so far? How important is it? Kelly, welcome back. Let's see. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Make sure you guys are liking and sharing out with your friends and everything. Grabbing that daily heart me up by the top by my name. Grab that daily heart me. We're gonna move to the next one, and this is a very key one right here. Number 3, areas to pray over. Areas to pray over. Let's see. My man O said, having God lead and be the majority in that marriage will bring you out that rut. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because sometimes when we don't understand things, put it in God's hand. Take it off of you. Take it off of you and say, hey, all right, God, I need you to handle this for me. Talk to me. You know what I mean? And he'll do it. Areas to pray over. Pray over your partner's heart. Let me tell y'all something, man. When you pray over your partner's heart, because let's just say your partner's going through something, and it's not something that you can per se fix, you pray over it. And you ask God to intervene in their hearts to give them that clarity. Because if you been in that relationship and somebody is kind of cold, you can't be upset. I mean, you can. It's your choice. But the end game is you want to understand, and praying over their heart will help them give clarity so that when they got the clarity, they can come back to you and tell you exactly what was going on. Absolutely. He knows what's meant by the heart that doesn't necessarily come fully understood in words. Man, let me tell you how many times when we have said something and we can't necessarily put the words together, but we got that feeling that's like in our hearts, and we're like trying to get it out, trying to explain it, but we can't. God is the one that can explain it. He can explain that. He can explain the unexplainable. You know what I mean? But you got to allow him to do that. That's called inviting him in. He can't do it if you don't invite him in. God has an open door. You can always come to him, but you got to be able to open your door and you open your heart to him to allow him to do that. Because, man, when he come into your relationship, man, let me tell you something. Crazy. Your connection. Again, areas to pray over is one of them is your connection. That's your connection with your spouse. That's your connection with God, right? You definitely want to have that connection with your partner because this is the person that you're deciding to say, I'm going to spend the life right now with them. So I want to be able to have a better understanding of who this person is, as well as have a better understanding of who I am, as well as have an understanding how God is present in this. Another area to pray over, yourself. You got to pray over yourself. Sometimes we pray about a lot of things. We pray about other people, but sometimes we negate ourselves. Especially, and I can speak from a man's standpoint. As a man, we tend to pray for everybody else, and we always, want to make sure everybody else is good, and sometimes we forget about ourselves. However, when you have God in your life, He got you. You know what I'm saying? Because when you pray, when you areas to pray over, when you pray over yourself, you're going to gain clarity, patience, and self-control. It's just that simple. When you're praying over yourself. Let's see here. I got a couple people chiming in here. Number 4. Well, let me go back to that one again right quick. There are always going to be situations that can arise in a relationship or a marriage, right? It could be someone you know, getting sick, or someone's just going through, an emotional battle. So it's like a lot of times we gotta not wait until it gets to that point. But if we keep him in the forefront, he's gonna let you know when things are coming that are going to be something that's going to be like a distraction or something that is coming for your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like how these young folks, so don't something coming for me. There are going to be so many things that's coming for you when you're in a relationship, especially when you got a relationship with God. Let me tell you, man, Satan has a whole good way of coming for you. He'll come into your mindset. He will come into your work. He will come into everything to try to distract you and disrupt you from seeing what you're supposed to see, you know? But I just need to add that little part in there. So, number 4, how to push while waiting. God, you got to have patience, right? I always say, how the Bible says you got to have the patience of Job. And Job was patient. We could wish we had the patience of Job, man, but we're working towards that. But how to push while waiting? You got patience versus passivity, right? You also got to look at what productive waiting looks like. Productive waiting is, am I doing something that's going to move the dial to get me to the next point? Am I doing something that's going to help me, right? That's what you got. That's what productive waiting looks like. I need to be doing something that's going to move the dial in the direction that I needed to go in and wanted to go into. And here's a big one: recognizing small signs of change. Give yourself a pat on the back when you see yourself doing something that you didn't necessarily do before. It doesn't have to be anything big. It doesn't have to be anything major in everybody else's eyes, because in your eyes, that's huge. Like my like my bro just said, that's huge. When you can recognize those small changes, think of it like this. Think about when you're in a relationship, right? And the things that typically people will have an issue with. Most times when you have an issue with something in a relationship, it's never anything that's big. It's always the littlest things. So imagine all these little things stacking up to make something big in the change that you're trying to make. Man, I'll take them small changes so quick. Man, I'll take them small changes, man. Any day of the week, any day. Now, we hit some points so far, right? We hit number 1, which was what push means. 33, welcome in. Peachy Tay, what's good, sis? What's good? We hit number 2, when you're at a standstill. Jessica, what's good? What's good? Number 3 was areas. No, you ain't miss it all, man. Hey, appreciate the heart me. No, man, we're just getting started, man. Like I hit some talking points. Matter of fact, I'll highlight the talking points I just put. For everybody just coming in, welcome to the 100 podcast. Make sure you guys are liking and sharing this out. Grab that daily heart me at the top. Tonight's topic is push in your relationship. Pray until something happens. That's what push means. Pray until something happens. This episode is just to kind of recap real quick here. In relationships, there are seasons where communication breaks down, emotions rise, and solutions feel unclear. You push reminds couples to invite God into moments of uncertainty and allow patience, clarity, and faith to guide them forward. Not leaning on your own understanding, but allow the faith and trust in God to be able to help you catapult um, to the next level. Absolutely. Let me see right here. Welcome up, sis. Welcome up. So again, it was number one was what push means. Number two was when you're at a standstill, what you're going to do. Number three was areas to pray over. Number four was how to push while waiting. And number five, this is where we at with number five. And this is probably one of the most, it's not probably, this is the most important. Praying together. Praying together. So when you pray together, this is what happens. Praying together will create that aligning of your vision and your values. It's going to allow you guys to have a conversation with each other about things that are going to catapult you into the next stage of your relationship. Also going to catapult you into the next stage of your relationship with God too. You know what I mean? Aligning the vision and values. A lot of times we get into, relationships and marriages, and our visions are not the same. We're not in alignment. We're not yoked. Welcome back. Welcome back. You coming up, Brooklyn Babe? Next level, y'all coming up, or y'all gonna hang back? 33. You coming up, or you hanging back? So often we get into the relationships, and a lot of times we have to ask that, did God ordain this for us to come in, for us to be together, in that marriage? No, you good. You good. What up, big guy?
What's
What up,
happening?
big guy? Man, you got
What's
it, bro.
going
Man, you
on?
got it. Hey,
What's
man,
up,
everything is
Peachy?
nothing. I think she's just getting in the car.
Oh, okay.
In the car.
You ain't see my text or
I
the
see.
message?
Where? What'd you say? No, you ain't miss it all. I told you ain't miss it all.
No, not that. I said you better shut your mouth and keep on talking, boy.
Hey, man, look, man, look. When God talking through you, boy, look. Hey, it ain't me. That's God talking through me, man. So,
I know that's right.
man, look, I welcome it. But yeah, aligning your vision and values, man. Sometimes we when you think about aligning vision and values, sometimes we put in what we put in our wants and our desires,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not aligned. We want this here, but is that what we're supposed to have? Is that what
Right.
God wants us to have? A lot of the things that happen in our relationships is, it God will protect you from certain things, but
Mm-hmm.
God would also allow certain things to happen as well.
That's right.
So you just got to know the difference. You
That's
got to know
right.
the difference. You know what I'm saying? And again,
That's
I
right.
can't tell you what the differences are. You have to know that for yourself. You have to sit here and you got to build it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, Praying together also um, is building emotional intimacy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like my man O said, assert that discernment, man. Um, Building emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy is man, that's huge. That's
Yes.
huge. You know what I'm saying? To be able to get on the level with someone in an emotional way, man, to me, hey, that's sexy. That's sexy to me, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Please. Um, And here's another huge one. Praying together even with different backgrounds.
Mm.
Just because you got different backgrounds don't mean you can't pray together.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And notice I said backgrounds. I didn't say different, different uh religions or anything or none of that. I just said different backgrounds, man. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Peachy. That's big. That's huge. That's huge. Um, hey, beautiful. How are you? Uh,
That's right, boy. Talk to that woman like that. That's
oh,
what I'm
every day,
talking about.
every day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Man, look. Um, I heard. Oh, shit, he heard. Let's see. Peachy Tay says she has a classmate who married a Muslim and a Christian. They've been married for over 20 years. Man,
Mm.
it works. It's not. It's. I mean, at the end of the day, the aspects of that religion it has different practices, but the forefront is they believe in God.
That's right.
You know, I mean, my
That's
wife
right.
and I was just talking about this the other night, and we just had, man, we went down a rabbit hole talking about it, right? And we was talking, in
Mm-hmm.
matter of fact, we was talking about a Muslim and a Christian, right? And we were saying how, you know, with the Muslim religion, it's they believe in God, but the way they see Jesus is different. As a Christian, we see Jesus as the Son of God. It's all of his perspective. You know what I'm saying? I get it, and I understand that. But when you look at how those two individuals and those people can work together, it is still just reminding themselves, yeah, we have these other parts about it, but we also have God. We got God.
Mm-hmm.
We serve the same God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not a theologist or nothing, but I understand. I've understood and read up on studied a lot of things when it came to religions, and in my own opinion, I see where um, all religions have a God. Most of the religions, the God is the same God. When it's not a object. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
that's a whole different type of discussion. Um, Number 6. Huh. All right. Prayer versus pressure.
Mm.
Can you
All
break that
right.
down a little bit more?
All right. Prayer versus pressure is a forced change or a God-led change, right? Sometimes things will happen that will force you to change, but then there are some times when God is leading you to change. Now, there are going to be times when those two are going to work hand in hand. Because God, at times, God will force you to do certain things, but God will put you in positions in your relationship to make you change something. He will put some things in your line of sight and perspective to say, all right, are you willing to continuously keep doing things the same way that you're doing it, thinking that you're going to get a different result, or are you ready to do it how I need you to do it? God has a funny way of sitting you down and taking everything away from you to say, all right, now what you gonna do, partner? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? God is hilarious. You
Are
feel what
you
I'm
gonna
saying?
give
Like,
up, or are you gonna
right,
keep moving?
exactly. Which way you
Are you
gonna
gonna
do it?
throw? Are you gonna throw your faith in the dirt, or are you gonna gain more faith?
That's it.
Yeah.
Period. Period.
Mm.
Um, like Kelly said, you know what I'm saying? Um, but but Brooklyn Babe, did that answer it for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, no doubt. I just want to make sure I ain't missing nothing. Another part of prayer
Woo!
versus, huh?
Mm. Nah, I was thinking out loud, man. Thinking out loud, and said
What
to
you
myself,
thinking?
to grow your faith in the Lord is to gain favor.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. To
Hmm.
grow. Well, I think you need to say that again for the people in the back.
To grow your faith in the Lord, you gain favor.
Amen.
Boy, you said it then, boy. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Boy.
Next level said you better shut your mouth and keep on talking.
Hmm.
Hey,
That's
man.
that.
Come on. Boy.
That's that.
Man, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. 100 podcast, man. Tonight's
Man,
topic is pushing your relationship. Push is pray until something happens. All right. Um, Number 6, prayer versus pressure. Here's another part. Anxiety and control pushing partners away. It's like every time I listen to that song by Dolce, anxiety, I look at how prevalent that is today. You know, at this big age of ours, you know, back in our times, for most of us, we didn't hear nothing about anxiety. We at least we didn't
Nope.
have a word on it. We didn't call it that. It was just you going through some things.
Right.
You just
Right.
going through some things. We got a title for it now. It's anxiety, and you can either let it control you or not. But again, the highlight of everything is if you turn it over to God, that anxiety that you feel in that relationship or the way that things are going, if you turn it over to Him, guess what He'll do? He'll make a way out of no way. Come on. Come on.
That's true.
Man, he'll make a way out of no way. I'm a living testimony of it. You know what I'm saying? Here's a highlight. Here's a highlight statement for you to kind of think about it. Chew on this. Sometimes the relationship doesn't need more talking. It needs more praying. So,
I agree.
we don't need to talk no more. We need to pray. Cause we do it in the relationships, man. We do it. We sit here and keep talking and talking and talking and talking. And what is it doing? It ain't going nowhere. It ain't getting nowhere. It ain't making no traction.
Not one thing.
And we'll avoid the praying part. Stop. Go pray about it. Let God fight that for you. So that you're not fighting each other. Exactly. Getting in our own way.
Yeah.
When you hit a wall, push.
I know that's right.
When you hit a
You have to
I
wall,
know
keep
that's
going.
right.
hey, push. Push. Don't throw the towel in. Push. You know? Prayer doesn't change your partner first. It changes your perspective. Let me say that again. Prayer doesn't change your partner first. It changes your perspective. Brown Sugar, welcome in. Welcome in.
Entry X.
A lot of times, it's our perspective and how we look at things that we need to change. We have to change the way that we look at things because sometimes we are looking through it through a cloudy glass. And sometimes we just need to wipe the lens off, clear it off, so you can see through that, you can get the clarity that you need to see. You know what I mean?
A lot of times, Marlon, we looking through that glass and it's not a glass, it's a mirror. We
Ooh,
don't like what we see.
come on now. And we just said that last night. Look
We
how all
don't
this
like what we
ties
see.
together, man.
You know.
That mirror,
We.
boy, that mirror.
Hmm.
They are so funny. Come down in the comments and hold my hand. Let me tell you, man,
Oh
I
my
love them.
God.
I love them,
Lord have
man. I
mercy.
love them. Woo! And they so funny. Okay, babe.
Mm-mm-mm.
As they're sitting right beside each other. I love it. I'm here for it. um, boy, this one here. Now this one here gonna stunt you. And it's a simple statement. If you
Talk
can
about
argue
it.
together, you can pray together.
Amen.
Come on.
Amen. Yes, sir.
Yay!
If we can argue
Oh
together, you
boy.
can pray together. It's the same amount of energy you put into arguing with somebody. How about saying, you know what, let me pray with my spouse. Let me pray with them and for them. But it's all about what we put our energy into. You feel me? If we put
Yes.
so much energy into trying to make a point. How about make the point of, man, we need to pray about this. Make that a point.
Or
Let's
just
not lean
seeing the
on our own
argument happen.
understanding. Huh?
I said, or just seeing the argument happen.
Yeah.
See your person just take off on a tangent, and instead of repeating the tangent or going off with them, just start praying and see what they do.
Boy, that.
Lord knows
Just,
I've
Just
done it.
start praying, see what they do.
man.
You know,
Right. Boy, you just said something.
Yes.
In the middle of y'all sitting there arguing about something, just start praying.
just start praying. Just start praying.
That'll tell you a
See if
whole lot.
see if it's God in it or if the enemy in it. Because the enemy ain't trying to hear the words of God.
Ooh, boy.
Let me ask a question real quick. It's
Go
going
for it.
to
Talk
somebody.
about it.
If somebody going through a divorce, right? While
Hmm.
praying about it, or you gonna go through the divorce? Gonna make sure God is telling you to do that, or is it something you need to correct yourself, self checking it? That'll auto.
Mm-mm.
I'm here to talk, but a
But
lot of people don't walk the walk. They like to hear themselves talking and sound good, and other people applaud their words.
Mm-hmm.
But are you really living what you're saying? Just asking a question.
exactly that.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta pray to it because so you gotta pray through that, right? If you're going through that situation in that season of a divorce and whatnot,
Hmm.
that's a moment where you need to pray about it. Because here's what prayer is gonna end up doing. Prayer and honesty. This is about to be real. I'm about to say something real here.
Hmm.
A lot of times we get into marriages and relationships, and God didn't ever wanted us to get in that relationship. God gave us so many ways of getting out of it before we got to this situation because God is all knowing and He knew what was going to happen. And He showed you things about this person before you got with this person, but you ignored it. And then you get in it, and then it didn't work out how it needed to work out because you went in it on your own without Him when He was telling you the whole time, this ain't for you. We do it. I've done it. It's a part of who it's human nature. We'll do that, right? But to what Peacher Tay is saying to continues to answer that is when you get into that situation, that's when you got to pray and say, God, what's going on? What do I need to do? Are you present? Are you here in this with me? What order my steps? You know what I'm saying? Order my steps. A lot of times people say, oh, well, the Bible says you're not supposed to get divorced and all these things. Look,
Yeah.
that ain't, no. That's,
What I like to ask for people in the Bible say, I say, tell me where it said it.
exactly. I
It's
would say,
probably
where
something
does it
they
say
heard a
that?
preacher in a pulpit say, but the Bible probably never really said that. So I'm like, yo, what does it say that? And yeah,
I
make sure
can't
it
make
says
out
that too.
what Peachy saying.
I can't hardly either. Sis, I can't hardly hear you.
Am I breaking? Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, you
Yes,
were breaking
yes,
up.
Hello?
I can hear. We can
yeah,
hear you.
Hear me now? Okay, I was by the
yeah.
airport. I just got in the car.
Okay.
So what I was saying is like when people say it's in the Bible, I'd be like, show me where. 'Cause you can Google
Yeah.
Bible now and make sure it say, you know, what you can use it as like a concordance and actually find what you're trying to say in the Bible. But then ask them to read
Right.
that verse and make sure they get an understanding. They want to backtrack their words. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and another key thing that you said was when you're praying in certain type of relationships, you got to pray about yourself. It's not the other person. You
Hmm.
can be the best person you want
Yeah.
to be in something it's just not meant to be. So it's like you always got to make
Yeah.
sure you come out, you learn a lesson, and you be better than what you were. And it might not always work out, but at the end of the day, you learned a lesson and you can be better for what's next.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, a lot of
Hmm.
times we will get into something, and again, God allows things to happen, right? Like Orlando said, guide me, right? It's not saying that you got into a relationship and God wasn't ordained by God. It doesn't mean that God can't get into it though. But it has to be that willingness from both sides to say, hey, you know what? When we got into this relationship, God wasn't at the head of it, but can we bring God into it now?
Hmm.
So it can transpire to that. You know what I'm saying? Um, you got you just everything boils down to just bringing him in it. That's all he's asking. Just bring me in it. You know, um, because then once God is in the middle of it, anything that you're going through within that relationship or that marriage, man, God got it. He got it. Put it in His hands. Because again, remember how when the Bible says God will never put more on us than we can bear. The reason why He won't put more on us than we can bear because He's telling you put it on Him. Put it on Him,
Hmm.
so that you ain't got to worry about whether you're going to be able to bear that or not. Jessica Star, what's good? Welcome in.
Yeah, I got one for you. It says cast off. It say, "What up, people, for joining?" It says, "Cast your cares on me because He cares for you." And Peter, and it says, "Take on my yoke. It's easy, so you ain't got to bear your own." But yeah, it's just showing you that God loves you so much. This junk really is easy. You just got to stop making it hard.
We are.
Hmm.
It's like Orlando said earlier. We get in our own way with stuff, man.
Hmm.
Facts.
So you guys, welcome in. Again, 100 podcast. Topic for tonight is push in your relationship. Push is pray until something happens. Man, we covered a lot of little things here tonight. You know what I'm saying? We got, of course, define what push mean. What to do when you're at a standstill. The areas that you need to pray over, and how to push while waiting. Because I'm gonna go on that one for a second. Pushing while waiting. This is where you got to have that patience and wait for God to do what He needs to do. You know what I'm saying? Um, Number 5 was praying together. Praying together. And then number 6 was prayer versus pressure. And then we hit some highlights. The biggest one out of all the highlights is if you can argue together, you can pray together.
Hmm. Now,
It's
Peachy T,
communication.
what did you say a few
Absolutely.
minutes ago? You had kind of capped it at the end where you were like, I couldn't make out what you said. I thought I caught it, but you were saying that people were looking to just get praise from the words that they say, or something to that effect.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, um, a lot of people say good things. People applaud the good things that you said, but are you really hearing yourself when you speak? Are you walking what you're talking? Or are you just saying good
Hmm.
stuff like have good hooks or whatever, which is it's good. It's some good information. Somebody will catch it and can use it later on in life, but are you really walking
Hmm.
it?
Mm.
So it's like outside of this podcast, can you meet me randomly on the street? Somebody point me out and I not know who you are and you see my character is the same as on this podcast. And can
Mm-hmm.
I be around you for more than 2 weeks and that character stay the same, or is this an imposter? Or can you show
Mm-hmm.
up on the stage and say something real good and everybody clapping, ooh, 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 and then it's like, but that ain't who that is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So it's like when you're in
yeah.
relationships and you talking about praying, stop praying for other people and pray for yourself because you need to be better. You need to be a better person because more than likely, the person, I think somebody said it last week because I wasn't on last night, but the person that you with, if they not like you, they're gonna start mirroring you. And if they can see you and don't want to look at you in the mirror when they look at themselves, they're gonna leave.
That part.
Mm. That part.
That
So you need
part.
to pray about yourself. 100, 100 is bringing two people that are 100 together. So if you're not whole yourself, you ain't ready to be in a relationship. You'll mess somebody up.
What did I say yesterday, Marlon?
You said what?
What did I say yesterday?
You said it.
What you say, 33?
That that if you if how can you help somebody or whatever and you don't even know yourself?
Man,
You afraid of yourself.
Woo.
And when I say that, I say like that little statement, a hit dog will bark. You know, when you said that a few minutes ago, I didn't know if you were saying directing that to me or what, but I wanted to bark on it because I'm like I'm living experience. You know,
oh wow.
my situation ain't working, but I pray for me and I pray for it, irregardless of how it's working out. And I thought it was great because it was a good point. You know, how many people actually take the time to learn they self and then stand
Mm-hmm.
on it and
Yep.
then, come out of their silence after growing and after building themselves back from being broken.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, 33. I didn't even know we were there. Hey, friend.
Hey,
Girl,
friend.
uh, Life really does life, and relationships, if you are actually trying to put in the work and do the things that you never even knew you were supposed to do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
yes, ma'am. You don't know
Oh,
until you get out of the comfort zone and you get into an
Mm-hmm.
area where people are like looking at you. They ain't like it's like a silent judgment. Like you don't see yourself, you don't know how to respect yourself,
Yeah,
you don't know better.
I
They don't
feel
say
that. Yep.
anything. It's like,
I
okay,
understand. I
yeah. Like so you thinking you're just going and doing your thing, but like you
Mm-hmm.
said, you should be able to do better. You can't know if you need to do better if you're in your sunken safe place that you think you're God of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's
yes.
right.
Hey, it's like so.
That's right.
Orlando has said that when we was talking about the other party, that person is what he calls the representative that showed up.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
representative is a fool, boy. That representative, look at me. This is me, y'all. Nah.
Hmm.
Um, here's a question. And this is real here. When was the last time you prayed about your relationship instead of trying to control it?
This morning.
Wait,
Today.
amen.
Today.
Yes, I was about to say a little while ago. All the time. I don't
Hmm.
want to control anything. I want it to be something that my partner is supposed to be willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we just said even with your partner willing to do it, do you have to say it for him to be willing to do it,
No,
or
I
will he
should not
just do
have
it?
to. No, you should not have to. But hey, some people
Mm-hmm.
need a little extra coaching and things. And is that something you also want to be part of or don't at that moment?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Life be out here lifing.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
They do. It do.
And God be out here just trying to.
You
He
check the
keeps things
roads.
in check. He keeps things in check.
Yeah. Let's see.
Life is gonna life, but are you gonna live? You doing your job? It's not. The question is not how is life treating you. Life was given to you, so that you were given.
Yeah.
And a
You going
lot of
back
people
out,
say
Tay?
the life is life in. I love it. Yeah, life do be life in. But I gotta live while life is life and it's doing this job, but am I doing mine? It's all about that big A word that I love, bro. What is it?
Accountability.
Hell
Ability.
yeah. Yeah. So you
Ooh,
gotta step
that's
yourself. So you
another
being
sexy
accountable.
adult word.
This is like grown up talk. We ain't throwing out
Grown up
stuff that
talk.
baby choose out here in these streets. Because when people start talking baby talk, you just shut your mouth and look at them and be like, they ain't ready.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
They not even
Yeah.
ready to be better, like you said, Jessica. They not exposing themselves to better areas so they can know that they need to be better.
They don't
That
even want
part.
to try to be better. So it's like if you are doing that and things aren't reciprocated, is then what? But hey, that's another part of lifing, and you need to figure it out. And God has His plan.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
Well,
driving. I don't mute myself.
Let's
I
see.
am love, support,
Yeah, go for it.
greatness.
That's what I was about to read.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
And she said every day anything against their will is a witchcraft prayer.
Every day, anything against their will is a witchcraft prayer. Never heard that as a statement. I
I'm
would
trying to.
love. Um,
Yeah.
I'm love and support. Are you in a position where you can come up and I guess kind of break that down for us a little bit? I would
Who
love to
said
hear you.
something about a witchcraft prayer? What?
Right, right. You're not praying His will. I think that's when you're not praying His will is a witchcraft prayer, if I'm not mistaken.
Hi.
Hey,
Welcome up, love.
I was not planning on coming up. Peachtree Tay invited me.
Teacher
And
Tay. Okay.
Teacher Tay.
I
Well,
was
young
not
lady, how
planning
you
on coming
doing?
up. um, what I mean by that is God gave us free will. So what I've learned over time from building my relationship with him and just with my walk, that when you're praying for people, you have to be discreet on how you pray, because anything can fall into being a witchcraft prayer. And what I mean by that is anything against their will. When you're praying for somebody to, oh God, take that alcohol away from him, or deliver him from that alcohol. If it's against his will, because God gave us free will, remember that. If it's against his will, then you are praying a witchcraft prayer. So what you got to do is you got to learn to switch your prayers up by saying, God, as he made the choices that he made, cover him, keep
Mm,
him from such and such, protect him. Don't pray against him, because you're now praying against his will and praying against the choice that God already gave us. So you have to be careful on how you pray things and what you say when you're praying for someone. But that's what I say.
That's so
That's what I
correct.
mean by that.
That's correct. I agree with that because you don't know that that's part of that person's journey, their story. God already created us. He ain't doing nothing. He was done on the seventh day and rested. So everything that you're living through, he already knows about it and has done it. He's the Alpha and Omega. So if it's his will for Judas to go in, doggone sell Jesus and get some money for Jesus, that had to be done so he could down the cross. So don't pray to control somebody else through your prayers is a spell that is a prayer of witchcraft. She is correct. So what you do is you pray for mercy over that person, pray for grace over that person's life so that they can live through whatever they're going through, because it's God's will be done. So whatever God's will for everybody's life has to happen.
Oh,
So
mm,
we don't want it to happen, but
right. Because you ain't praying over.
somebody got molested as a child and they grew up and something great happened to them, we don't want whatever happens to the person that molested them. Yeah, we all human. We want that person to die, but it's something else that could come out of that story that God gets all the glory from what happened. So we got to make sure we're not being praying witchcraft prayers and trying to be God. We say, God, your will be done.
What I said.
And just, work on my heart, because I ain't the one to judge the situation or have judgment over anything. unless you become a judge or something, then you judging stuff. But seriously, she was spot on with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for coming up and sharing.
yeah,
What I
yeah.
say yesterday, Marlon? What I say yesterday?
Everything that you
Huh?
just said.
God wrote the book. We just turn the pages every day.
That's it. God wrote the book. We just turned the pages. Now, and then here's the part about turning the pages. We gotta sit here. We gotta have that a part of that discernment to go in there and actually go turn the pages. Got to have that willingness to want to go turn those pages. It's already written.
Hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
how they say, if you want to hide something, put it in a book.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, the book is there. The book was already written. You know what's the acronym for it? Basic instructions before leaving Earth. Come on, come on.
If you ain't
Oh,
careful, that can get past you.
it'll get past some a lot of people, you know. But hey, I don't want nothing to get past
Layman's
nobody.
terms. Read your word.
Read your word. Read your
Read your
word.
word.
That's it. That's the Bible. King County got it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think one of my other questions was, I think we pretty much kind of answered it, but I'll answer it again. Do you and your partner pray together?
I'm gonna say it again. If you are a man and you are in a relationship, your answer should be yes. Because you are the covering, you are the protector, the provider, you are the God, the Lord of your family. So you should be covering them with your word
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and the authority that you have in God over your family. Yeah. If you in a relationship and you're a man, your answer should be yes.
Oh,
Get
absolutely.
off and go pray right now.
um, what issues need more prayer than pressure? So if y'all didn't catch the part when I said what prayer versus pressure, let me circle back to it so that gives more clarity on why that question. Prayer versus pressure was looking at forced change versus God led change. So understanding forced change and God led change. What issues? What issue needs more prayer than pressure? Let me answer. Right, pressure won't last long. Um, your partner fighting demons within themselves that has nothing to do with you. Woo! that that
Have you
I
ever
was
heard of
waiting for
that?
that to come up.
Have you ever heard of the fact that you know how people be praising their pastors and stuff, but the congregation actually, wears the wounds of the pastor? So like they could be
Mm,
preaching junk to you, but they have their own hidden, stuff going on.
yeah,
But it
yeah,
shows in the congregation. So like you didn't get hit with it, but you're wearing it because you're under that covering. Same thing in a relationship, which is why I said if you're a man in a relationship, you need to be praying over the people that you are in a relationship with. You're the Lord of that house.
that's right.
Because if you get attacked, what's going to happen is the effects of the attack is going to be over the people that's under you. And if and that's why you all want to be with a woman that prays and can cover you too, man. Because if you don't have some woman covering you, bruh, it can take you out. It can take your family out.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Hey, I just wanted to step in a little bit to elaborate with that comment that I put up there.
go for it, brother.
Oh, by the way, how y'all doing, everybody? I'm 33 Big Guy's nephew and Brooklyn Bay for life son. So, how y'all doing?
What's good?
Welcome.
What's good, man? Welcome.
So, when I was saying as far as like fighting those demons, when I got into the live, when it jumped in, it was about those prayers as far as like them being witchcraft, etc. Those two things kind of go a little bit hand in hand, but then they can also be counteractive to each other. What I mean by that is you're not always praying witchcraft. Sometimes you might be sending angels to that person that they need to fight the demons on their own. So it might not be, specifically, oh, God, take that alcohol away or take whatever it may be the person is struggling with away, but you just praying more strength and more protection and discipline, whatever it may be that the person may need, but they still have to fight that demon on their own. But if you try to apply that pressure in the mortal sense, most likely you're just gonna get pressure back. And if it don't make a diamond, it's gonna bust every pipe possible. So all it's gonna do is just create more, vitriol and tension. So then whatever prayer you were even placing over them, it loses power because they fighting against you in the first place. They not willing to receive those blessings that you're trying to pray over them because now they're looking at you as the enemy, because in your mortal self, you're going against what their flesh is trying to make them gravitate toward because of the demons that they fighting that don't have anything to do with you.
So that's exactly what we were saying, bro. You just said it in different words.
Okay.
We agree with you 100% there. To the
Yeah.
left. So the thing is that you're not praying for the person, and you're not like fighting them in the flesh. What you're doing is what they call intercessory. So intercessory prayer, keep going straight, is going into prayer and praying to heaven and asking God, the one on the right, the asking God to cover them and give them grace, go to the right, and strength to go through, whatever they're going through, which is what you just said, which is what we said. We said,
Yeah.
don't pray that God make them change. That's what we're
Mm-hmm.
saying. We're praying for grace and mercy so
I
that
like
they
to
can be
touch
able
on
to
that
make it
too.
through. Go
When
ahead,
you
ma'am.
when you done.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to add in something. Okay, I know you spoke about praying for a person who has demons and stuff like that. Which, okay, you heard of the story of Jonah? So, sometimes you don't want to be a Jonah on the boat when God is trying to intercede and He's trying to do what He's doing. Especially when you've been praying for this person, you thinking God is not answering your prayers. You don't want to intercede on what God is trying to do because now you're being a Jonah on the boat and you wondering when this happens to a person, why it happened to you as well? Because you in the way, you were Jonah on the boat. So, also you've also heard of no weapon formed against me shall prosper,
Mm-hmm.
but mind you, when God constantly is trying to do something to a person, and sometimes he might have to have. I'm not saying, okay. Let me see how to break this down without actually. Okay, no
Take
weapon
your
formed
time.
against me shall
Take your
prosper.
time. Take your time.
Sometimes God allow things to form against you, but He don't allow it to prosper. Of course, you don't like He may allow the devil to do certain things to you, no, but it's not going to actually lead you to like your death or anything. But for instance, I'm gonna use a situation. It's somebody that I know that people have been praying for a long time. All the way from the drugs to everything. And sometimes if that person don't get right, if they don't align, especially when they're constantly getting warned about warning, because warning comes before destruction. Sometimes God will have to step in and intercede, or sometimes He might, have you tried such and such? He might send them to, send the devil to do certain things,
Like
but
Job.
He
Yep.
won't allow it.
That's
He won't
that
allow it
part.
to. So He
Right.
That
might
part.
his way of
That part.
his way of protecting that person and sitting them down and sitting them still is by locking them up, having the police take them away. So
Yep.
now they sit in jail, so they ain't got no way but to. There'll not be no choice but to sober up and get right to really change. And sometimes he's not going to let loose until he hears the boy cry out. The boy got to cry out. He wants the boy to turn back to him, turn back from them wicked
Bingo.
ways, to cry out. He wants the boy to repent.
Yeah.
He wants to hear him. He don't want to hear all the other folks praying for him. No, I want him because that boy got a calling on his life. So I need to hear him until he cry out to me and he repent. Then I'm gonna keep allowing this to happen. But I ain't
And
gonna allow it to get to a certain point. But you get what I'm saying. But yeah, I just want to say that.
I was gonna bring that point about, which is the enemy has no power over us, none whatsoever. As a
None.
matter of fact, he has to go to God for permission. God has got to give him permission in order to touch us because we're untouchable. We're God's children. And
Exactly.
you gotta know we gotta know that in ourselves. And if you don't know how to pray, I suggest you learn. If you don't know how to, you know, stand in the gap, I suggest you learn. If you can't go to God and understand your job, your task, what it is to do for you, and get the understanding from Him for life, your book, your pages that you turn every day, then you are going to be lost. You are going to be lost.
Absolutely.
He
And
gives permission.
sometimes when
He
you think
grants
about that
permission
gap,
for us to be touched.
sometimes there are other people that can stand in the gap for us to get us what we need.
Hmm.
There are people that can stand in the gap. Because sometimes when a person doesn't know how, think about it like this. We say it so casually, pray, 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 but there are a lot of people that don't know how to pray.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
you
You
know,
gotta learn how to
it's,
pray.
some
You
people
gotta
got to
learn how to
step in
pray.
and do it for you so you can see and be that example so that you know what to do.
Yep, that's right.
Man.
But some people also be raised in the church and got a whole ministry of family members and know they got a calling on their life and running from that calling. So that goes with being obedient. So, but I also learned in life that I would have, if I had built a relationship I did as far as, because I was raised in the church, a holiness church, very strict. And if
Mm.
I had not stepped away from that, I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, I thought somebody said something. But if I had not stepped away from that church and built a relationship for myself and gained my own understanding, I would have still been
Mm-hmm.
lost. So
Mm-hmm.
even I learned that a
Yep.
lot of stuff I could have really kind of avoided if I learned to consult with God on each and every situation, person,
Mm-hmm.
what it's pertaining to. It can be a job, it can be somebody that just came in my life because either that person is a lesson or a blessing. And the first thing I start asking people, who sent you? Either the devil
Mm.
sent you or God sent you. Who sent you?
Who
So if
sent
it's
you?
a lesson or a blessing, I consult with God and I pray about it too. I ask God when people ask me for favors now, because I do a lot of community work too. But when people ask me for favors, I consult with God on it. God, do you want me to do this for this person? If you don't want me to do it, then I won't do it.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
come
But I
on.
consult with God about all that. That's why I stepped away from relationships. All of that. I'm in my own zone now.
You in
I'm
your own
waiting for
little journey
God.
right now. And you see that
Yes,
that's
yes.
that's that other part where I said earlier about having clarity. Clarity,
Mm-hmm.
the relationship, even though we're talking about a relationship, we also talking about the biggest relationship is the relationship with God. And sometimes you gotta walk a whole different path to go along this particular journey so that God can do what he needs to do for you so that you can be ready for the next season of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But that's huge, sis. I like that. I like that, man. And
Yeah.
Teacher Say, you just said something. It touched my whole heart because my daddy was a preacher. My mama was all in the church. There was nothing but, and I had to learn my own way. At a certain age, they're like, oh, well, you can decide if you want to go or if you don't. And I was just like, I don't want to go right now because I've been going since I was 3, 2, out the
Mm-hmm.
womb. But I appreciate the relationship that was developed for me before I knew how to develop one because it did lead me into, okay, well, when you're feeling like something is just like missing, well, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you may know what it is.
You know how, like Jessica was just saying, she grew up, everybody was in the church and stuff, but she wanted to like not go right now. So I'm pretty sure those parents were like, I don't care, Lord. I know, I trust, and I believe in you that your grace abounds to cover her. We pray mercy over her life that she don't die. And you give her grace so that she can actually have her own relationship with you. And
If you
so
can see me right now, I'm pumping my fist. I'm like, I know that's what they was praying.
and that's why you're here now. And that's why you're not wasted away.
Yes.
You
Yep.
probably went through a
Yes.
lot in life, but you're not wasted because of the
The teaching.
effectual fervent prayers of the righteous availeth much. So the word again is real life. It's just not little story rhymes or Easter things that are being said. Those are powerful.
The covering over me and my brother and my siblings that I had no idea was a real thing until you come up in some kind of ridiculous life situation and it is a real deal. You're like, nothing but God.
Mm. Oh,
Yep.
absolutely.
Nothing but God just saved me.
You know, they used
Yep.
to always say, well, you got a praying mother and a praying father and a praying grandmother. You got a praying grandfather.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Hey,
why a whole
man.
bunch
Yeah.
of us are here today.
Hey,
Cause
that
them
boy.
prayers. What
Hey,
the
boy.
what did David say? I never seen the righteous forsaken nor his seed begging bread. You the seed,
Hmm.
bruh.
You see.
Your grandparents were the righteous. I need y'all to start praying so y'all can be the righteous for these grandchildren that's coming up now.
Hey,
It's generational. And so
telling
what
you.
happens is these older people are dying, so the children are being wasted. So what are you
Yes.
doing? How are you treating life? That's the question, not how is life treating you.
Come on. Come on.
But
Oh, if
You
you
might,
didn't
you
just
might
say a
clap for that.
word, can we tag that
If you
hashtag?
if you think
oh,
if you think that the Lord is not present right now, when two or more are gathered together in His name,
yes.
Hey,
He is here
y'all
on
see what's
Yes.
up
every
in this channel and
podcast.
in that
He is
chat.
here
Come
on
on.
every podcast, but ooh,
Come
tonight,
on.
yeah,
Come on. Come on.
he touched a
Hey,
few
man.
extra hearts.
Hey, can I step in and just ask a quick question real fast?
Go for it, bro.
go ahead, boy.
All right. So with me coming from a family that is very blessed, highly favored, a lot of praying members, right? Um, the how can I put it? The conventional, I want to say conventional. The conventional way of praying. I'll be honest. I didn't really start doing it until I had my son, right? Because I prayed over him from when he was born, and then just from there I just started doing that. But I also always, I don't know, always felt like I spoke to God in a different way, like even just in just walking around, just in my own, thoughts to heaven itself, just talking to God like within my own inner voice. Do you guys feel like that still has the same or a similar connection
Man,
to
yeah.
God as that?
Man,
Absolutely,
absolutely. Let me tell you something, man.
absolutely.
Growing up, man, like if you gotta go in that, growing up, man, I used to always hit my dad had a prayer room in the house. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He had a room that he had in the house. Me, when I like me personally, my how I talk to God, I talk to God with a conversation. My
Mm-hmm.
prayers are conversations.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's
You
what I
know what
was
I'm
getting to.
saying?
Yeah.
So there is conventional, traditional prayer is prayer. God just wants you to come to Him. Period. You know what I'm saying? So how you
Yeah.
come, He's going to accept that. You know what I'm saying? He's going to accept you as you are. And when you go to God in prayer, that's like kind of a sidebar on it. Like when you go to churches now, that's why you'll see a lot of churches are saying now, "Come as you are," and they've been saying it my entire life, your parents' entire life, everybody's entire life. Come as you are. They're not looking at how you look. They're coming in with how you're coming in. They don't expect anyone to come in that's all the time going to be all whole. They want people that's coming in that's broken so that they can come in to understand how to become a whole. So
Right.
how you communicate with God is how you communicate with God. You got to have your own personal relationship with God so that you can have that. That's not anything to do with anybody else, man. So how you yo, Ken Connie, how you talk to God, that's how you talk to him. You
I
talk to
want
him
to
like he's your
say,
partner. What's up, God?
yes, I wanted to interject and say, okay, so I talked to the way I heard God clearly, presently, is definitely when I was younger. Um, and it was not a, oh Lord, thank you so much for coming into my life today. No, it was, hey, I don't know what's going on today. And you have been everything in my life. And why is everything so messed up today?
Mm.
It be like that sometimes.
It
You want
was,
to know
it
why?
was,
You want to know why everything so messed up today? Because of the choices you made earlier in life.
Yes,
Y'all think
ma'am.
don't happen the same
Listen,
day.
but
Sometimes it comes
look,
out years later.
Yeah.
you are telling the truth because that was the younger me, and I understood it as the older me, and I was like, I understood that day because that day came back around, and it was just like, ha ha, hi, you remember me? I do, and I know what I did wrong. I didn't believe that he could take this and do what he needed to do, and I come out of it okay. There are a lot of times where most kids
Welcome back,
don't
Keita.
feel
Welcome back,
okay.
Armita.
Most adults don't feel okay. You try to go through your day and you work through it and you process through it. You've learned how to go through the stressors. You've understood what the triggers may be. You've worked out how not to have the triggers. And things still happen that you cannot control.
Sister Taylor, I wanna speak on what you just said, right?
Hmm.
The biggest, like with me, and this it's a little dark, but this is just honestly my little testimony. The biggest reasons why, when some people come to me and they like, oh, you don't go to church like that, and we don't really see you. I don't have a cross and stuff like that. But I tell people, yeah, I believe in God and all that, and they ask me how. I never really give them an answer, but we have in church right now, so I could be open with it. A lot of the times with me just growing up, just in the neighborhood that I'm in, I wasn't even really involved in anything or doing anything, right? I have had so many near death experiences. And when I say near death, I mean like got home and like I had to throw my shirt away because there were bullet holes in it. You know what I mean? Like that close. But every time after, it wouldn't be a sense of like, yeah, you get that adrenaline, but it would never be a sense of fear. It would almost feel like a hug afterward. Like it would be a peace afterward. So it wasn't like I was running outside feeling like, yeah, I'm invincible or nothing like that. Where, I took it like,
It
oh,
was
yeah,
he
can't nothing
already
happen to
knew
me.
he was protecting you.
Yes,
He
yeah,
knew he was
yeah.
covering you.
I
He
felt the
knew he had to
prayers.
be there for
Yeah,
you.
I felt the prayers
Yeah.
that were being prayed over me happen in real time. But then it got to a point where even as an adult, when I felt like, okay, I've learned how to, keep myself out of these situations, not overwork my guardian angels, like let me not put myself somewhere where this could happen. Somebody who was a dear friend of mine, I wanted him to meet my son. He was supposed to be his godfather. The day he was supposed to meet him, we're talking and he gets killed right next to me. When I say right next to me, I'm talking
Unalive.
probably
Unalived.
Unalive.
Unalived.
sorry, unalive. Oh yeah, I forgot.
No, it's
My
okay. It's
bad.
all right. Go ahead.
I don't do
Go ahead. Go
the
ahead.
social media stuff too much. He was unalive, right next to me, and um, that one threw me for a loop. It was a crazy spin, but then later on, when I realized what were the circumstances surrounding that happening, had I left from where we were standing at and we would have tried to go upstairs or get to where my son was at, I may have also went with him. So it was like literally everything played out for a reason. So even in my adult life, it's like it's still there, like these things are still happening and I'm still protected. So I still have those conversations and I still pray over my son. And when I get to the darkest points of myself, even when I feel like things around are just too evil, I pray for everybody who I can even think of. But yeah, it's a little different. It's a little harder, at least
You
with my
started this
generation.
off with you are blessed and highly favored. And
Yes, ma'am.
regardless of all of the things that have gone on in your life, you're still here because
Yes,
you are
ma'am.
blessed and highly favored. And if you prayed over your child, Lord, God help them because they should be as well blessed and highly favored. Unless you decided to not have the faith that you had when you believed that you were blessed and highly favored over them, which I doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
That the
When
saying life is lifing, it may be new to some of us because yeah, it's new to me. I'm an 82 baby. I didn't even understand it. I'm like, what do you mean? Because this is just what we've been living. What do
man,
you
life
mean
been life
life
in
is
since I was
lifing?
alive. I'm a
Look,
94
what do you
baby.
mean? Yeah, look, what do you mean life is lifing?
Just doing what
Um,
life do.
Life has been lifing for a very long time before someone decided to put a term to it. We have
Mm.
all been, whoo, in the name of
You know,
Jesus, because we're here to still speak it, blessed
it's
and
called
highly
trials
favored.
and tribulations.
Ooh, say
Yeah,
it again.
trials and tribulations. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, like that was always the way, God showed himself to me through the trials and
Mm.
tribulations. And that's why people look like, yo, you've been through so much and you smile all the time. It's just because that's just what, I don't know. That's just the love. That's the light that God gave me, man. I don't wake up with it every
Yeah.
day. Something traumatic could have happened to me yesterday. I don't wake up with it. I smile through it. I laugh through it. I even try to. I'm that person that'll find somebody who really needs it at, like, let's say a memorial or something, and I'll try to make you laugh.
You
Yeah.
want to
That's
know
just,
something? You
you know,
actually do wake up with it because you're giving it. You
right.
do wake up with it. Don't discredit that.
No, no, I'm
You
saying I don't wake
wake
up
up
with
with
the trauma or with the, with whatever the negativity was. I don't wake up with that
it.
part
Okay,
of it. I
Gotcha.
wake up with I gotta bring
understood.
light to, whatever is going on today. Like yesterday was real bad, cool. Let's start off today, or let's get through today and smile about it. Like, let's just find something funny about today. Like, let's not focus on yesterday because we already went through that. Like, let's not stay there.
Yeah. Welcome in, everybody. This is the 100 podcast. We got a great topic going on tonight. Make sure you guys, when you come in, grab your daily heart me, like and share. Topic for tonight is push in your relationship, which is pray until something happens. Man, we got an awesome panel up here. We got some awesome folks in the chat that's been dropping some jewels. So we got to talk about prayer again, right? So one of my other questions is, have you seen prayer bring clarity in a relationship or just, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
know what I
Yes, I
mean?
have. Yes,
You
yes, I
know?
have.
Okay.
Yes. Hands raised high. Yes, yes, yes.
I had to
Amen,
close my eyes
amen.
on that.
Thank you, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I don't even have to close my eyes. It's so beautiful in real life color.
All right.
Man.
So when I come with one question, I gotta come with something else that's gonna go a little bit deeper. All right.
Rabbit hole time.
Rabbit hole. Here we go. So thinking about that relationship and everything, right? What if the breakthrough requires a better you, not a different partner?
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh,
Mirror
see,
effect.
that is again, that's one of those sexy adult topics.
Ooh.
Mirror
Repeat
effect.
that, please.
All right, let me repeat it again. What if the breakthrough requires a better you, not a different partner?
Oh, again, and I will restate my statement because that is
Okay.
a sexy adult topic where you have to be real and understand your growth or your non-growth or where you want to grow and where there are so many things. There's levels.
Yeah.
I'll I'll
It's
I'll
a
give you
Hey,
plane.
Carmita, you know how I'm gonna do it.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one.
All right, run with it.
I was dealing with this lady or whatever I met when I used to do like radio on the internet and stuff. And we met in a basically a neutral place socially, but everybody came from their own, walks of life. So dealing with her, it was, how do I put it? It was like lukewarm, hot and cold. She was
Mm-hmm.
confusing
Mm-hmm.
me. So in my own way, I had that conversation with God, like he was the homie, like yo, what's going on? Like, why is she like, what I got to do to get it situated? Now, here's the thing, though. It's two things that I always tell people. Sometimes when you talk to God, it's not that He ain't answer your prayer. Sometimes He said no. Also, sometimes when you talk to God, the way your prayer is answered, you got to pay attention to it. It ain't gonna be, snap your fingers and boom, you get what you want. So when I prayed about, what is it? How do I gotta do this? I'm gonna be real. She just started, the hot and cold part stopped. And this is where the apply pressure part kicked in. She just started saying it to me. Yo, listen, you running around in the street and doing all that. That ain't, like, it's cute, but if you trying to be my boyfriend, that ain't nothing I'm about to bring home to my parents. Everything started coming out just blunt. It wasn't hurtful. It was just do what you gotta do. A month later, I was a pharmacy technician. Get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I was a pharmacy technician.
It gets to that point where it's like
The pharmacy technician.
it gets to that point where the clarity comes through in a way where maybe you're not ready to get it or receive it, but if you ask for it, you gotta look for it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm with you.
That's my little, that's my little piece of experience from that.
Nah, man, I appreciate that, man. That's called that self-reflection and realizing if the breakthrough is being a better you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what it is, man.
So I wanted to say that. Go ahead. Go
You
ahead,
can
love.
go.
It brings about that one big word, that peachy tay. I think that was the first time we met, and I had said it, and I guess bells went off. It brings about that word accountability.
The big A.
Yep. The big A.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hey, Marlon, I would like
Yeah.
to put in with this. Hello, everyone. I'm
What's
driving, so
up?
I'm not able to text or anything, but that part hits on so many different levels. Me personally, right now, and one of my nieces. The thing is that when you're saying, like, you may need to become a better you, and when you're praying for that person that you're with, sometimes it feels like it's falling on dead ears. They did not wanting to do X, Y, and Z. But I've heard on this panel about how we can't pray away other people's their journey through to get better, closer to God, right? A lot of times we are praying, we're here, God, clearly, and have all the signs and the messages coming through music and people and just everything, and we ignore it. But we don't realize that we have to make sure that we're making sure that we're in alignment with what the Creator has for us, and not so much of putting all that faith into another person. Because I feel like if you start to be aligned in what your purpose is, um, then you don't, put so much into praying, onto others. Not, let me rephrase that. Not so much that you're not praying for them, interceding, things of that sort, but I think sometimes in relationships we get so lost in trying to repair and fix the other person that we're forgetting what we need to do for ourselves, and that we're an attraction to others and what we want and what the Creator wants for us, if that makes sense. Because the thing is, like, I can pray for this person to be a better person, but if they're not willing, because a gentleman just said that, like, they're not willing to step up to that, what you're praying for and what you're asking for, because a lot of times we are hear people tell us things and we ignore it. We take offense to it. But if it's what they call, like, it's confirmation that something needs to change, right? So I guess in all, what I'm thinking is that a lot of times people will tell you who they are. You just have to listen, because I think a lot of times we spend a lot of time trying to repair a relationship with a person that we need to walk, and then other times we have to be patient um, with the fact that they have to do their discovery, their healing on their own. And if they're not ready, maybe that means that you just need to have some time so that a person can heal. Because we get really impatient and want things right now. It's like just because you've been praying on it, just because you've been doing your work, doesn't mean that that person is at the same level as you. Like you could be so much further in your journey that they haven't gotten there yet. So my question, my concern would be like if we're sitting there waiting for someone to, with the hopes of the or the what do you call the potential of another, and you get lost in that, and you're not moving forward, you're stagnant. Does that make sense?
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Everything you said made perfect sense, which was so fun. Let me tell you how, when God is in the room, he puts everything in order. And let me tell you how he just put this in order from everything you said. You not even knowing when you was talking about boy, God is good. Change and confirmation, right? My very next question was, are you praying for change or confirmation? That was my very next question to
Can
ask.
I answer the other question you just did? I know it might be too late.
No, go. No, it's never too late. Go for it.
I just wanted to say that everything everybody said does align correctly. Um, but I also wanted to add in that that goes along with what I was talking about earlier about pretty much consulting with God. For one, did you consult with God on this? If this is your person, if this is the person that you're supposed to be with, because the Bible talks strong, preaches strongly about being equally yoked. So therefore,
Speak
if
it.
therefore, that also aligns with being a leadership, being able to lead by example. So if you continue to walk in your walk and on your journey of knowing who you are in God, and that person is watching you, then they'll automatically align right. That you don't have to necessarily change that person, but you continue to pray for
Facts.
that person and ask God to cover that person as they make the choices that they make, and that God massages their heart and brings them that way. But you also want for them to, oh Jesus, I'm starting to lose my train of thought. Pretty much
I
everything
hear you.
will
Yes.
pretty much
Because the thing is,
everything
go ahead.
pretty much
Sorry.
everything will align up if that's what God has, if that's in his will, if that's your person, because one, you can sort it with God on if that's your person or not. And dang, it was something I wanted to say. It was something else I wanted to say with yeah, just pretty much
I'm
leading
gonna
by
be a
example.
female's devil's advocate because I'm just like, well, guess what? You know what? God don't make mistakes, and He will send you if you are looking and you are ready for the person. Because I've been in situations. I've been in a good situation where, yeah, well, this was the person I thought I wanted, and they aligned with me on a lot of things, but not the important things. Um, things were not okay. Uh, life was not what you may have thought it could be or should be, and you're just like, okay, well, how do you get? Do you get out of it? Do you let it work itself out? Um,
And that goes back to like forcing, that person to be what you want them to be. You know, I just feel like when you're in relationships and you're looking for that alignment, looking for, like Marley, the next question is, with the confirmation or change. If they're willing to change, you will see that. What I've experienced personally is like I'm constantly like, well, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're not making, this or that or whatever. And so now they feeling attacked, like they're not enough. But in actuality, it's like, why am I trying to change a person who's not ready for change or don't see that they need to change, right? And so, like, you can be aligned as something, but what I've noticed too, talking to um, different people, is that we have, men always say, we have this list. My list has actually just been demolished because I'm like, I was looking at the wrong things in a person and realizing, like, the top of my list is communication now. and not how tall he is or how great, intimacy and things like that. Like intimacy is totally different now. It's not always the physical touch, with the intimacy. But I just feel like I see a lot of times people being in a relationship for 10 years, don't get a commitment. They have partners that are cheating, being abusive, and all these other things. It's like, did you guys talk about what was truly what you wanted, what you need? Because that desire and need is, it could be totally different. Because to continue to be in a relationship and be healthy, and because we're going to be evolving as long as we live, we should be evolving, learning, and growing. But when you start getting that stagnation, then you start getting into that jealousy, envy, resentment, and it becomes hard. And I truly, and my son calls me an optimist, and I have not always been so optimistic about love. I truly believe in love, even though I have not felt like I've actually experienced love like it should be, but it's like it's there, and I'm always saying when I feel it, when I get it, I'm gonna know what it is. But then at the same time, you need to have that guidance from the Creator to say, what does that look like? What does that feel like? That it shouldn't be such a stressful thing. It shouldn't be so painful. Like love isn't pain. I don't know why, we feel like, you have to be lonely and begging and, going through all these ups and downs, these traumatic ups and downs, and still trying to fight for that relationship to stick. When sometimes we just need to let go and let God. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly
Absolutely.
what she just said. And you know what all of that aligns with as far as changing a person and everything? It's almost like how when you go to church and they expect for you to, I guess,
You too.
um,
Amen.
basically, okay, so when it go, I just say it aligns because as far as when you're trying to get a person to change, of course you can pray for them and everything, but once they build that relationship with God and they start actually reading their Bible and everything, you don't have to worry about them changing. Religion shouldn't change you. None of that shouldn't change you. That Bible will automatically change you. So if that man don't align right, once he get into that Bible and read that Bible or build a relationship with God, then obviously y'all ain't equally yoked in time to walk away from the relationship. Because that might be your confirmation from God telling you this ain't where you need to be.
And
That's all I have to say.
there
Yeah.
was one little thing I wanted to add just real quick. Oh, I'm sorry, my fault. You wanted
No, go for it.
to as far as the confirmation part, the biggest thing, if you're praying for confirmation and that's what you're looking for, don't make God tell you twice. That's the biggest part. If you're looking for confirmation, recognize the confirmation because
Yes.
sometimes you
Well,
get
hello,
lost.
sir.
I
Yes.
know that's right. You ain't got to tell
Yeah,
me twice.
because here's the thing. They always say, if God was to use his actual voice, he'll blow your eardrums out. But you don't want him to tell you twice, man, because he show you the first time it's gentle. The second time, and that's when you start to fall into that, like the sister said, love shouldn't hurt, and you shouldn't have to feel lonely or being abused or cheated on. You ask for confirmation, God gonna show you who they are, and it's gonna be that first thing that hurts your feelings to a point where it really messed you up. Then you need to make your decision from there. Because if you wanted confirmation, he gave you confirmation. Don't make him tell you twice, because once he do that, after that, everything you do, it is free will. You just gotta deal with the hand you was dealt because you asked and he showed you. That's
Yeah.
that's all that is.
And things are not always going to be
Mm,
packaged how you think
Facts.
it's supposed to be packaged. It's
mm.
not going to
Yes,
look
sir.
how you think it's supposed to look.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Um,
Lady E's comment. Do you see that, Brother Marlon?
yeah. Not in a relationship, but I'm fighting for my life every other day with my team. I got God on speed dial. Got
Mm-hmm.
to.
Give it to
Got
him.
to.
Give
I
it to
mean,
him.
Every day, all
look,
day.
that's a relationship that you
Lived
have
it.
with your child. So
Hmm.
it's a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Lived it and living it.
Telling you.
Ooh, it's
Telling
hard
you.
sometimes.
But what King Kanai was saying, And like I said, man, when I tell you God is in the room, he says something just then, and that was my. Y'all gonna think I'm lying, but I got a whole sheet over here, right? The
Sure
next thing
did.
I was
Talk
about to
about
say
it.
was, if God answered today, would you be ready?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Come on, man.
Ooh,
You better
that is
listen.
Come on.
whoa,
You better
Come
whoa,
listen.
on.
whoa.
Boy, I tell you, when he's here, he's here.
Yes, sir.
Everything. I mean, we sit here hitting points, and I'm swearing, every time somebody says something, it goes right to the next thing I'm about to ask.
Called alignment.
It's alignment. This ain't this. This is by design. You
Mm,
know.
mm,
So if God answered today, would you be ready?
mm,
Ooh.
Toughest question, man.
mm.
Oh, I'll
Look, I'm
never
gonna
have
be
no easy.
honest. I ain't ready. I'm gonna be begging when I see you. Because the thing is,
Lord, I'm so sorry about what happened yesterday because today
Mm.
I was ready, but yesterday I wasn't ready. Today I was like, yes, in the name of Jesus, but yesterday I was like, fuck that shit. Okay.
Lord, Lord. But
Hey,
hey, I get
do
you,
you
sir.
remember me yesterday?
Nope, don't
that
even remember yesterday. Just know it was bad. It was bad. I said, fuck it. Fuck it
Yeah,
all.
this is the
Ah.
thing. Like, I be asking God, do you remember what happened? I was there yesterday. Can you give me grace? Please give me grace.
Give me
Yep,
grace,
yep.
man.
Please give me grace.
I'm a work in
Please give me grace.
progress.
I don't remember. I don't remember. Please give me grace.
Yeah, see, sister, what you talking about is what I call a holy hangover. And those be the worst
Ooh,
ones. You,
you up here
you
talking about other sexy grown up talk.
yo, when you wake up from whatever it was, and you didn't even have to be intoxicated. You could have just been living in pride, envy, whatever it was. And you wake up that next
Man,
morning, and it's always when it's you by yourself. It's a beautiful morning, the sun going through the
Lord,
cloud,
I
and
didn't mean to
God
say
is
what I said
looking,
about my job because I know that they are
man.
paying me and I am on salary maybe and I'm going to get that paycheck, but fuck that shit. I'm sorry. Give me grace. Oh gosh.
Hey, man, speaking. Sometimes hey, look. Sometimes you just let it out, man. It is what it is, man. There ain't no judgment on here at all.
Yeah,
Understand?
that
It ain't no judgment on here, cause boy,
That's adult. That's adult.
that's
Adult
adulting.
is
Okay,
sexy at this point. Okay?
yeah.
Adult is sexy
Come on,
at this point. We got to learn.
but I got one more.
nah, that holy hangover when you realize you was doing something, and then the next day or maybe even a week later, some epiphany just hits you, and you look back and realize that the blessing you was asking for, it hit you and you wasn't ready and it went past you. Man, that hangover lasts for months,
You be
months,
sitting
and
up
you
there
be
talking about,
so
oh
mad.
God,
Say it again.
Lord, I'm so
Yes.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Lord,
Man.
Lord,
And the
God,
only thing I can say for
Jesus,
anybody who go
everybody.
through that, the best thing I can say advice wise is use that regret and that hangover and just push that into what you doing. And what you don't say advice wise is use that regret and that hangover and just push that into what you doing. And what you don't say advice wise is use that.
I got holy hands. They up. They up. They up.
Man, let me see. Big guy coming back in. Oh man.
One of those, today just wasn't the day. I'm so sorry. Yes,
No,
please,
look,
Lord. Take
man. Look,
me.
none
Help
of us are
me.
perfect.
Thank
None of
you.
us are this. We all have days, man. We are human, right? We all have days. But I'm gonna drop this next one though. Can you trust God's timing over your own?
What? Why are you doing that to us, Margaret? You know we can't trust
Hey,
this shit.
look, look. Y'all know
Really?
y'all know I don't
Really?
make this ain't. Hey, look, this is what I do.
Jeez, I don't even think I read it out of time to talk about cannot wait.
Where's mother? Mother ain't even on here yet. Wait, what? Why? Really?
Can you trust God's timing over your own?
I'm still working on that, Marlon. Cause I mean, one thing is like we're Instagram, everything got to be microwave time.
Oh
And the
yeah,
thing about it is, just the one thing is just being still and being in solitude to be patient. That is a ah,
it's a
that
challenge.
is a that is a challenge. Because
You know
you
how
and I
hard
have
it is to
times that
be still.
I'm like, what am I waiting for? The perfect job, the perfect this, that, and the other. And it's like it don't work like that. What may look, from all the panel now, y'all life, journey is totally different from mine, but you in divine time. It's always divine timing. And then when you in
Hmm.
it, we looking so looking forward, like I want to be here and not thinking about how it is to get to it. And I was lost in that. I'm like, I ain't got the mansion, I ain't got the millions, I ain't got the husband, I don't have you think about all the things that you don't have, but just being still and appreciating and having gratitude of where you are, and that that creator is going to give you what you need at the divine timing that you need it. Because right now, when you think about it, if I was given $1 million now, will I be responsible for it? Why don't I have that mansion? Am I taking care of the 2-bedroom apartment I got now? Am I responsible enough for X, Y, and Z? You see what I'm saying? Like, there's things
Hmm.
that we have to accomplish in the time before we actually gift it. I do feel that. It's like, because sometimes you're just not ready for certain things. Like, people saying they're ready for love, and I've heard people, like, say that they give all their time and energy to a person, and that person wasn't ready to receive. Now that person feeling like they're upset, they have resentment for X, Y, and Z, but it's like it wasn't the alignment goes back to the alignment. Were they ready for you, or was creators trying to direct you to something else? Maybe you dodged a bullet. Maybe you weren't supposed to be in that. So it's just a matter of like being patient, which is like the key thing with this is like being patient enough to appreciate what you're going through, and that it's going to come in divine timing, and it's going to be for you. And you got to
Right.
stop looking around, and your neck on a swivel, looking at everybody else live their life and doing their thing, and it's like you don't know what they had to go through to get to where they are and to the
Right.
part that they had.
Everybody got a story. Everybody got a journey. See,
Yeah,
I love support greatness says yes. His plan is not our own. He may not come when I want him, but he'll be right on time. And you got to walk by faith, not by sight. Just that simple. We gotta stop leaning on our own understanding with a lot of things and just let God do what God gonna do. When we trying to get into when we have things that we're trying to correct within our relationships and marriage, or the ones that we're trying to get to, allow God to do what He needs to do. We are sitting here, and again, the question was, can you trust God's timing over your own? We will sit here and ask God, God,
Entry, exit
send
door.
me a send me a spouse. Send me this you know beautiful woman that's this, that, and the other. Or God, send me this 6'5" man and this and this. We're gonna sit here and pray for all of these things, right? But what if that ain't what God wants you to have?
Send me a sign is real vague.
I want to say something about that. We just had a conversation about that yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and because I've been asking the question of, oh, I want God to send me love because I've been celibate and all that, and I want to, I ain't trying to fornicate and all that. So I need God to send my husband this and that. I want to experience real love. And they asked me the question. They said, "Do you think you ready for love?" And I said, "Yes, I am." Why do you say that? They said, "Do you love yourself?" And I said, "Yes, I believe I do." And but I also that tied into the whole, what does loving yourself look like?
There
And
you go.
that
Oh,
also tied
girl,
into
yes.
that
Mm.
also that also tied into what I am going through now. Like, God, I really honestly believe that, because God don't do nothing by mistake. But I honestly believe that
Never.
God set me down for a reason, set me still for a reason, because I wouldn't be still enough to hear Him. And I had so pretty much, if God was to send me that person, would I really be ready? Because sometimes God wants your attention. If He was to send you that person, all your attention might go to that person. And
Hmm.
then your
Yeah.
relationship with Him you barely might even talk to Him like you do all the time. Sometimes He got to break you and build you back up into the person you need to be in before He can send you that person. That's why
Right.
sometimes they come out of, when you least expect it, when you walking on your
Mm-hmm.
journey.
And
What?
that's the best part of it,
Absolutely.
is the fact that we got to prepare ourselves to be our best self. Like, to me, I just feel like you can't go into a relationship when you rocky with yourself. My son always showing me these videos and these comments that the young ladies are saying about how they want someone to pay for their trips and their apartment, their cars. I'm like, can you do that yourself without having to ask? You know, do you love yourself where you can take yourself out to dinner, buy you those things that you want? Do you love yourself
Right.
to even have boundaries with people to say, no, I don't want to, even with a job, I don't want to work overtime. I don't want to do weekends. You know what I mean? So the thing is, it's like, if you can't do the things that you're expecting someone else to do for you, then something is wrong. Because a lot of times we're looking for validation from other people. You know, um,
Mm-hmm.
to have them to reassure us that we're beautiful, that we're smart, that we're. If you're not confident that that's what you are, that person that you bring in your life can be the person that will break you down. You ain't beautiful. Nobody's gonna want you. And if you don't have that confidence in yourself, and that you are in a place of totally loving yourself. Because I think a lot of times we all looking for love, and then we have the rejection, we have the abandonment issues, and then we don't. Sometimes these things are from childhood trauma and things, and you're bringing it into relationships because you haven't dealt with those. So now you got a partner in your life trying to figure out, like, I'm doing these things. Why can't you accept it?
Mm-hmm.
Or why you can't give it? Because you don't know how. You don't know what it looks like. You haven't been around people, healthy relationships. We were talking about this last, we had a conversation about what type of relationships are you seeing in your circle growing up. Did you see your aunts and uncles and dad and everyone cheating? They're not providing for the home. If you never seen like how healthy relationships are, and that's going to be, contingent on the people, because I know some people, like the wife's like, I don't cook, the husband cook. It may not be the traditional, back in the 50s kind of way, but it works for them, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
Marlene, you cook. I remember being in the home, you was like, no,
Hey,
the kitchen's my
Star.
space. Hi.
Hey, I just wanted to break you up just a little.
Okay.
So, I was listening to a lot of the things that you were saying, and I completely understand where you were coming from. I wanted to give a smidget of perception from where I'm coming from.
Okay.
No, I understand it. I listened to it and I love it. Ooh,
Okay.
I've lived through a lot of those situations that you just spoke of.
Mm.
Lived through them. Some of the most important people didn't always, you know, tell me some of those things, or the things that I gathered from them, the things that I learned weren't even always looked at as some of the best things that you could know. What I do know is what I've learned later in my life. They didn't always have it. I had to learn how to give them grace. I had to learn how to give myself grace. I had to understand that a lot of those functions and emotions. Sometimes people just don't even know how to properly have. They may have had them and then realized it was something it shouldn't have been, or I've been on both ends. People live a whole bunch of life,
Appreciate the heart, man.
and all they try to do is figure out the best way to navigate through it.
Yeah.
And I like to say, if God was to send you that person, do you feel like, because sometimes we run into sometimes we don't realize that we're being tested when God send us different people. Well, I'm not saying God send us different people, but you got to remember the devil hear our prayers too, so he know what we want and desire too, so he can send you a counterfeit. So if you constantly intervene, if
That
you constantly
representative.
experiencing the same types of things with the same different people, you're wondering why, oh Lord, I keep experiencing this with different people and it's the same thing, just a different person. No, it's the same spirit in a different body. Have you passed your test yet
Exactly.
where you
Nope.
able to
And you
have
know what? You are
yes,
saying something. Yes. Preach that
are you
testimony because it came with a whole learning lesson. Where I am now was not where I even thought I could be before. I didn't even think I could be that kind of person to get through those kind of objections. Like, oh, you're living this
it
life and you're
it
going to,
boils
nope.
into it boils into
Yep.
having
Yep.
a discerning spirit. So now you have to break that down to, okay, God, I done seen it. Okay, I'm ready to pass. I done passed this test now because I now see the same spirit in a different body. This the same person right here. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
You can go kick rocks because I now can see because now the veil have been removed from over my eyes. So I now have the discerning spirit to be able to partake in what is being sent to me. I know this ain't God sent. This a counterfeit. This was sent by the devil. Bye.
Whew, you want
That
to know
part.
how long it took to get to that, even get to that level? That level is something beautiful. And I was raised by some people that were very, very awesome, but they went through some treacherous stuff that they didn't even know how to deal with.
Yeah.
To get there, to hear that and not take it as, oh, someone's attacking you. No, it is the most wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Star brought up some stuff. I don't usually even participate. It's always great. There are some real people on here living out all of God's experiences.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
putting it out here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, as always, we are covering a lot of bases, man, and everybody's giving a whole lot of input on everything. You know, again, when God is in the room, when two or more are gathered, God is here, and you can feel it. You know what I'm saying? You can feel it going through our thoughts. You know, through how everyone's saying in the chat, through everybody on the panel, man. It's a beautiful thing. You know, ain't nothing but God's glory going through it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna drop a closing message, and then as always, most of the time, give a takeaway from what you got from tonight, right? So my closing message is this: push. Push reminds us that love is emotional, practical, and spiritual. When you include God in the process, you build strength that outlasts confusion and uncertainty.
Mm.
And that's my closing part. So, whoever want to kick it off before I drop you down, what's your takeaway?
Um, I wanna build on that with push, right?
Go for it.
Push was always an acronym I liked because I came up with one when I used to play baseball. Push for me stands for always put yourself higher. You're, being spelled with slang with the U, but put yourself higher.
Yeah.
And with that being said, the highest place you can be is, closer to God and understanding what it is you want to do in life, and then just go for that. But always keep God close to you, because without that, I mean, I don't know. I couldn't imagine what life would be like without God. So those who don't have him, you know, even still, God bless them, because I know that life is rough. That's why I'm gonna leave it with that.
No doubt. No doubt, man. Appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. I'm gonna drop you down right here. Um,
And I want to say, when it comes to relationships, and that person, one of that person, it does tie a lot into having God at the head, as the head. And he has to be in the center of everything, relationships, marriages, no matter what it is, job, everything. And when it comes to, just having that person as well, I say more so from the man view. I mean, a man's view. How can you expect how can you expect the woman to submit to you if you don't have God as your head? Because now it's the blind leading the blind. So
mhm.
if you got to be able to go to God. You be able, and be, I don't. My words don't got tumbled up. But yeah,
No,
you
don't. You
have to be
good. You
able to
good.
in order for that woman to submit to you, whether it's marriage, girlfriend, however, when you want her to submit to you, you have to have that relationship with God and have God as the head, and have Him leading y'all. And I mean, because it's just a
That's
blind
right.
leading blind at that point. But yeah, that's all I want to say.
No, I appreciate that input.
Well
That
said.
that's you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. All right. I mean, I definitely appreciate your input. I know you didn't plan on coming up, but look, you came up, and that was God coming to you to tell you what you needed to drop for everybody to hear. So, salute to that.
I am
All
love
right.
support. You are awesome. You have been awesome this evening. I don't usually even speak on these kinds of things. I'm very hit or miss. Tonight, it hit a little bit of home. I understand that God has been in my life since before I knew what He was or was supposed to be. Our conversations hit on Him, but they also hit on real life. We all make choices.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we don't know what those choices are or what they are going to be, but they play out. What God's role is in your life initially, it does play a significant part. However, it hits it, it plays the proper role. He does not miss. That's one of the things that was said this evening.
Not at
God hits,
all.
He does not miss.
At all. At
We
all.
may not accept or receive what He's passing or trying to give to us at that moment. Oh, but it definitely still hits.
Absolutely.
We we grow, we conquer, and I want to say we conquer because even for myself, whoo, it took a lot of years.
That's growth.
Things are still not conquered. Yes, they're still not conquered. Not all of them. A lot of them are, but He is still working. He works.
I
So
appreciate you. All
we
right.
all are here. We build. We build on every conversation. We build on every topic that we actually choose to be a part of.
Yeah.
And it just becomes a bigger community every single time. And in all of it, God is present. That is all I have.
All right. I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop you down.
Good night.
Good night. All right. 33 of Brooklyn Babe. Who wanna do theirs?
I'll go.
Go for it.
I think you have to keep God in your life, whether you're in a relationship or just you yourself, because He is the higher power and He will show you things that you need to see, whether you know it or not. Um, he created you for a reason. Whether you know it or not, you're here for a purpose. And if you're in a relationship, you definitely need God in that relationship, because the devil will try to bring itself into it, whether they might be friends that you think you have, they'll interfere with that. But if you have the Lord on your side, he'll dwindle them out. And I guess you can say, um, without faith, you'll fall, in my opinion. Um, he's like your backbone. You can't stand up straight without him. That's all I got.
Absolutely. Nah, that's that. Hey, look, that's your takeaway. You know what I'm saying? I love it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the rose. I'm gonna drop you down, Brooklyn Bay.
Okay.
Big dog. It's on you,
Yes,
bro.
sir. So you have made the statement about moving, moving out the way and letting, you know, God do what He do. And I, I'm always gonna look at the backside of things. I
Mhm.
agree wholeheartedly with that. But with saying that, I say, we don't have to move out. We don't have to move out of God's way and let Him do what He's gonna do, because God is God. He's gonna do what He's gonna do. We got to move out of our way to see His way through. If that
Yes.
makes makes sense to it, you know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
my overall takeaway, man, is that seeing and listening to everybody and hearing everybody, express their go throughs and life experiences, you know, is it's in turn, I in turn just take that in and apply it to me right now and in my walk. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a beautiful thing to see that growth is possible. You just gotta want it. You gotta search it. You gotta seek it. And everybody that was on the panel exuded that, just that. They're in search of it. They're looking
Yeah.
for it. So
Yeah.
that's my takeaway, bro.
Hey man, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. I'm gonna drop you down. I'm gonna drop
Yes,
another
sir.
little piece, and uh, I don't know if anybody else in the chat might have something else they want to add. Let's see. King Kanai says, "Seeking you shall find." Absolutely. Um, you know, again, listening and being able to hear God when He's talking to you. For some of us, God talks to us just as plain as you and I sitting here talking right now, right? Sometimes God is going to talk through someone to tell you certain things. However it comes, be able to hear when God is speaking to you. When you're in your relationship, your marriage, or the one that you're trying to build, bring God into the middle of it, because so often we forget, we start leaning on our own thoughts and our own way of doing things, instead of saying, "Hey God, you know what? How do I need you to order my steps and let me know how I need to pursue this, right? Um, Open my eyes to see things that I normally would not see. We talk about discernment, right? Um, but tonight, man, like I said, I was being obedient. when I was sitting here putting everything together for the next ones, and God said, "All right, I need you to do this." And I dropped everything that I was doing and said, "All right, let me go and put this together because God is telling me to do this." Right. So I hope everyone was able to get something out of it, that you can pass on and share with the next person, whether you're in a relationship or not. Again, the 100 is not all about relationships. It's about being able to get to that relationship and knowing how to, move and operate in that relationship. So obviously we all agree here that, having God in your relationship is what's going to help it move forward. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody. I love everybody. I'm praying for everybody. I pray that God watches over everyone and keep everyone safe from all hurt, harm, or danger. We'll be back next week. Of course, only one session next week. We're going to do it on Wednesday because Thursday is Thanksgiving. And, that's the time that we're going to spend all with the family, which, that's a time of just being thankful. Even though I don't celebrate holidays, you know what I'm saying? Because I celebrate the ones I love and everybody every day. I don't specifically need one specific day. That's me personally. So I take that day just to be still thankful for it. And love on somebody, man. Love on somebody. Tell tell somebody you love them. And we'll see you guys back on Wednesday. All right. Peace.